hours ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, it's saying preparing to live stream the meeting, setting up your meeting for YouTube
All right,
live.
let me know when it's live, and I'll just go right in.
Oh wow, bro.
What?
Hold
What happened?
up. It's like showing an old episode. It's a mad delay. It's a crazy delay, but let's see how it goes. So we're gonna try it. Uh, picture in picture. It looks like
We're in.
we might be live now, bro.
All right. All right. All right. All right. To all our listeners, members, entrepreneurs, and all our constituents, we are live and in color here at the Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast. Ladies and gents, we're doing something a little different today. We're actually doing this episode live, raw and uncut. So normally, we edit the bad things out, edit the mistakes out, but today this is live, raw, and uncut. And I think
Yes.
that today this is befitting to go live because today, with this particular episode, first and foremost, we want to say happy holidays to all our members, our constituents, and all our listeners to the Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast. But today, as you know, my name is Sosa. That's the brother I just.
I
We
just
That's it. We are the ones here, doing this Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. And today, this is kind of like a year end wrap. And what we're doing is, we do have one more guest, another dope guest lined up to close this year out. And we are going to do an end of year recap with all our episodes. But today, I thought this would be a good time to kind of just let our members and our listeners and our all our constituents let us know kind of where we're at, right, where we're going, and what it took to get here. This has been a journey that the brother I just and I have been on actually for a long time. This started off as we wanted to make like an entrepreneur like an entrepreneur a networking group. So no, and then we went to a school, right? And we
mhm.
settled on the podcast. so so this has been a hell
And
of a
when,
journey. I don't
when
know
the
if my brother
dust
I want to
settled,
elaborate.
especially when the dust settled, it became a podcast.
It became a podcast, but it all came down to it. It became
Uh-huh.
a podcast, and I'm just really blessed to have a good brother of mine, somebody who I consider a brother, a friend of mine, brother from another
Man,
mother.
thank you, brother.
My man, I just and for us to put our minds together, man. We just started really just two brothers just wanted to give put our be part of the struggle. I mean, be part of the solution, not part of the problem, and that's really how it started. And then we got together and we started getting together and we started talking about ideas that we have, man. How can we bring some value to the community? And
Yes.
then, we were very ambitious at first, you know what I mean? And we had like a big grand plan. And but we are business owners as well. So I don't know if we had the time available to us of what we really wanted to do at first.
Right.
Um, and then, we started talking about, and then, the brother I just went, with the Entrepreneur Chamber Facebook group, and then we started talking about the podcast, man, and here we are.
I know. And it's just like, as you said, those first seeds that were planted and, the time that it took for those seeds, to be harvested, it was time span. And as you think about the journey from then to where we're at now, just appreciating, those steps, the do's and the don'ts, and the things that I've learned over the time, is certainly a honor, to do that with somebody like yourself, Sos. You know what I'm saying? Like Sosa, like somebody I look up to in the business world, and help me along my journey as being an entrepreneur. And I think initially that was just our entire way of thinking. It was about being an entrepreneur, and the things that we understood that many may have not understood, but we wanted to, bring that to their attention, and, certainly answer the how to. Like, and it really kind of boils down to, like, if we can do it, you can do it. Meaning that it's for everybody, but everybody may not be for it. That's the way I kind of look at it as far as being self-employed business owner, creating a job for yourself, or being an entrepreneur. So like I was talking to one of my veterans, man. Shout out to my boy Age God. And he had owned a cleaning business as well. So, and he had this cleaning business on the side from the time his daughter was in high school, going through college. Once she got through college, he was like, man, I gave up all my accounts. There was no need for me to do it no more. So he never went into it like to be an entrepreneur, like, and say, I'm going to do this forever. He just, he said to me, he was like, man, it was better than getting a part-time job, A. And then he was like, I enjoyed the flexibility. So his daughter played not soccer, softball,
Mm.
and she did traveling softball. So he was like, he was able to go to all the games, and it was mainly just him and his wife had a handful of accounts. And he was like, they appreciated that if they had to go to an away game, then they would just clean. If it was like a Friday, then they would just clean the building, the next night, which would be Saturday night. And they liked that flexibility, and it was better than a part-time job. So, just understanding, man, the different steps that it takes, and defining what your own success is another thing that I appreciated along this journey, man, as it went through the semesters, and then now went to the trimester, or, and then it went to, being brought into existence. And like you said, man, just now it's a podcast.
Yeah. And you know what? I also, and I want to make like some kind of clear, like, because I get asked this question a lot, especially from like members and people that listen to our podcast. I want to make clear, listen, yeah, we are entrepreneurs. We are definitely want to be entrepreneurs. We are fighting our turn, but we are not experts. My brother IJUST and I, we're not experts in entrepreneurship at all. We are on the road to entrepreneurship. We started off being self-employed. For self-employed, we're more now in the ownership kind of quadrant, and we're
Right.
working towards the entrepreneurship. So yeah, we do. Yeah, we have businesses. We both have businesses. I have rental property and stuff like that. But this is not, so I don't ever want to come off like we're the experts, because we're not. We're just
Right, right,
enthusiasts.
right, right.
We're enthusiasts for people to have success. We're, what I mean, we're motivated by people, and by people having success. We want our own success, but we also want people's success also, because we'll get a lot further. There's a saying that says, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go with other people. So that's what we believe in. We believe in, and everything that brother IJUST, and this is why me and him are cool, and this is why it was a no-brainer for us to get together, because we've always been on this path. We always weren't always just thinking about ourselves and our family. We were always had other people in mind, and always willing to give our time and give our efforts and donate, sponsor, whatever it is. We've always done that even before we done the podcast. So doing this is just basically like the correlation of all of our thought process and who we are as regular human beings that walk this earth every day.
Absolutely, brother. I apologize. I'm just kind of going back and forth on the
It's all
Facebook
good, ladies
side.
and gentlemen. This is live.
Yeah.
Understand? This is live.
That's right,
This
man.
ain't no
We
editing
learning it
going on
too.
with this one. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
know all
and
the,
we learning
and we
it.
learning. That's right, and we learn it.
Yeah,
And
learning the technology, man.
yes,
Because I mean, let's think about it too, man. That's dope that it all ties into the podcast, the technology, and being that our conversation was always like this. So whenever we spoke, whether that was at previous jobs when we were working the 9 to 5, and we would, pick it on lunch break with a few other coworkers, we will always build, even then. So this is quite natural to us. So, but the ill part about it is now with technology, we don't necessarily have to be sitting in the same room
that's
to
right.
have a podcast.
Right. Or even to be kicking it, or even to be kicking
Right,
it. You
right,
don't gotta
right,
be in the
right,
same
right.
room. That's the power of technology, man. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. That's right, man. So, we are learning technology. I was able to figure out picture in picture with the Zoom because we are, let's call this a Zoom cast
Yeah,
versus
it's
the
a Zoom cast,
podcast.
man. It's a Zoom cast. It's
Yeah.
a Zoom cast. And
This
and
is a
also
Zoom
too,
cast.
and he makes a great point because I want all our listeners and members to know. Listen, we don't have a team doing this podcast. What you see is us doing it. All the editing and all that. This good brother
Yeah,
right here is
yeah.
amazing. This brother self-taught himself how to edit, how to put basically this whole program together. You know what I mean? So that to me is to be commended and to be applauded. Applaud this. My brother Nas says
Hey
applaud this.
man, I
We
tell
gotta
you
applaud
what,
that.
man. Yo, I'm not gonna pat myself on my back so hard that I break my hand. But yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna pat myself on the back a little bit, man.
No doubt,
And
no doubt.
listen, man. Hey, Sos, I got to for a moment just shout out because we're live on YouTube.
Yeah,
So shout out to all the YouTube viewers that may be checking in with us
yeah,
right now and on
yeah,
this live with us
yeah,
as we speak about and wrap up the end of the year, fiscal
yeah,
year
yeah,
2022.
yeah.
And this, once we do the edits and it re-airs next Wednesday, this is going to be episode 16 in
Wow.
2022, bro. Like
Yeah,
episode 16 that we're up to, that we're literally doing live right now on YouTube. And it's going to re-air Wednesday, and that'll re-air to our Facebook group. And
yeah,
we're going to chop it up and edit
yeah.
it
No
then,
doubt.
and repost it as a video on YouTube. And when you're on YouTube, that is the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. Make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe,
That's
watch
right.
the videos, go back, man. So just to let the people know on YouTube that's checking in right now on this live, that we have 16 videos. 8 of them are full episodes, and then we have 8 short 1-minute clips, which normally derives from you and I figuring out, hey man, this is a highlight that the people need to know
Right, right,
out
right,
of
right.
that full episode. So yeah, so if you right now checking us out on YouTube, certainly go back. We'll drop the link in the description below this video, and you'll be able to watch other episodes as well.
And you know what? And I because this is live, so I would have caught myself with this, and we would have edited it. But I must remiss to say that we do actually have a team. We have one other person who actually is very vital to the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast,
Yes,
and that's Mr. Kia
absolutely.
Brown. She's the
Already
owner
know where you was
of
going with
That's right. She's the
it.
owner of the Hustle Lab, and
Hustle Lab.
so I must say that so it is you what you see is what you get as me and I, but she's very integral behind the scenes and helping us out, helping us understand this whole marketing thing.
Yes.
When our guests, when you get your onboarding and all that, she's the one that's handling all that, and she's a bright mind. who's extremely sharp, extremely intelligent. And if anybody out here, needs marketing or needs anything social media wise, man, check out the Hustle Lab. I can tell you right now, that young lady is probably is a sweetheart first and foremost. But man, her knowledge is super duper knowledge, and she's very personable, man. And not to mention, she works with you. Like, she ain't dictating you; she's working with you, and that's a and that and so I just had to really give a shout out and an applaud. I got to applaud that young lady and her company, Hustle Lab, because she is a big part of what we do. I'm
Absolutely, man. And if I may, man, you can catch Akia and the entire agency for Hustle Lab at the Hustle Lab LLC.com. Or keep re-airs. We'll drop that website link inside of the video.
Yeah, and if we froze a little bit, I don't know, maybe you did, maybe I don't know, but the
Yeah, I
Hustle
did.
Lab,
I did. I saw
yep.
that it was a
Hustle
little
Lab
unstable.
LLC, right? Hustle Lab LLC
.com.
dot com. Hustle Lab LLC.com. Check that out. And
Yes.
listen, here's another thing too. Listen, we're business owners as well. My brother IJUST, he owns a cleaning company called JMD Janitorial, right? Excellent. You need commercial, give that brother a call. I have a company as well called New Age Cleaning and Maintenance. You need some residential cleaning and maintenance, give me a call. I also have a financial company with me and my wife called Ambrose and Associates. Now, I don't get on this podcast and we're not pushing financial products and things like that. First of all, I have a license to protect, but more importantly, these are services. What we do is we want to just push and help whoever listens to us, our members. We just want to drop as much information as we have. We want to share the information that people were gracious enough to drop on us, and all we're doing is just paying it forward. It was dropped on us, and we just dropping it to y'all. And that's really what we do. That's really the spirit behind this Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. But if you need any of our services, contact us, inbox us, and which many of you have
Hey,
already.
man, listen, man,
Honey,
they can post a comment.
you can post
Because
a comment.
yeah,
That's right.
post a comment.
You want
Yeah,
to post? That's
post a
right. Post a
comment.
comment. Let us know.
Because
You know what I mean?
we certainly read all of the comments and
Yeah.
reply to the comments. And some of the
Yeah.
comments we even, pin to the top of the comment section. So, we certainly go through the comments. We appreciate everybody that leaves a comment on the podcast, and watch an entire podcast. So yeah, man. And when you said that, so again, man, it just takes me back to the roots of even the podcast. And like you said, to be remiss not to mention Akia, the Hustle Lab, and the whole professional look, the whole team, and everything that we're doing as far as for the community. And all of this, even though you were shouting out our businesses, and my bread and butter is JMD Janitorial. I do a shameless plug, y'all. That's www.jmdjanitorial.com. And my brother Sos, that's NA Solutions
Yeah, well, that's NA
and New
Solutions, and we
Age.
have another company, New Age Cleaning and Maintenance, and
That's
that's
right. That's
New
right.
Age Cleaning and Maintenance. You can reach out to us. That's New Age Cleaning and Maintenance.com. So
Yes,
you
sir.
can
Yes,
reach out to
sir.
us, and if you're
Yes, sir.
looking for financial services or learn about your finance, want to get your finances in order, you can reach out to Ambrose and Associates, or reach us at Tamira Ambrose livenet.com, and you can get in contact with us as far as that's concerned.
So, but real quick though, before we move forward, let me just
Yeah,
say this because to wrap up that previous thought I had. So, even with the podcast now and our bread and butter, let me speak for myself. My bread and butter is my cleaning business. And I've spoken with my brother Ambrose, Sos in private, but he can speak better for himself. But with my cleaning business being my bread and butter, in this podcast coming out of that. And it's known as, with the things you were touching on, there's a term for that, Sos, and that's the wisdom that you're bringing, because it's known as ancillary. So from your business and you taking a step to be a business owner, let's just go with a business owner, bro, for the time being, right? Then you can go into so many different fields after having mastered that one.
Yeah.
And that's your bread and butter. That's the one that you've mastered.
Yeah.
Because, there's a saying that says, don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Right.
But I
Right.
never heard it put that says, if you're the master of one, don't be the jack of, or be the jack of all trades.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, you could be the jack of all trades. They just saying, and don't be the master of none. So
Right.
at least master one if you're going to jack all trades.
Right. Right.
Because
Right.
jacking all trades, so is just ancillary.
Right.
That's entrepreneur. You're getting money from all
Right.
different type of
Right.
business ventures. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But I do like what
So
you said, because you're right, and I find a lot of young people kind of in this boat where,
yeah,
oh, I got all these streams of income, whatever. Okay, but
yeah.
how much money you making? You know what I mean?
Right, right, right,
Because
right,
it's
right.
great to have a bunch of streams of income, but if they ain't generating no real money, what you really got? So
That's
just
right.
like our brother I just said, yeah, man, you got to be. There's another saying in scripture that says, one can't be a slave to two masters,
Yes.
and you're right, you can't be a slave to two masters. But guess what? You can master something. You know what I mean? You can master something, and then you can venture out and be free. You know what I mean? And freely
Right.
pursue other ventures. But like my brother I just said, you got to have something that's your bread and butter. You know what I mean? Like you look at some like Mark Cuban and stuff like that. Yeah, they're entrepreneurs, but but they built their wealth off of one or two things. It wasn't 20
One or
things.
two
Now,
things.
once they
Right,
got
right,
their
right.
money, yeah, now they can invest, because now when you're investing, a lot of times you're just investing. You're investing all your time. You're investing your knowledge or your money or whatever it is, and you're bringing that to the table, free of the time that you have to put in.
Right.
So I think that a lot of people get that confused. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely. I mean, just like going back through this year, I really appreciate the people that's kind of been with us, especially the people who've been with the beginning. We hope
Yes.
that you guys see the growth, from our first episodes to where we're at now.
Hey,
Um,
listen, man, and real quick. And where we're at now is live on YouTube, bro.
that's right.
Like
That's
you
right.
you said that. Remember we did that was what may have been episode 14. And you was like, listen, man. And this is how powerful it is, and why I'm saying what I'm saying, brother. Because you was like, one of our goals is to go live and bring it to you live.
Yeah.
And look,
Boom.
so
Hey, we're
within the
live.
time span of one episode, we
Yeah.
are now live. So planting the seed and then harvesting it. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? And
That's
that's the
right.
jewel out of that, bro, like talking it into existence. So
Yeah.
let's just say you're a person who's stuck on the fence, right? 9 to 5, or not to disrespect anybody that works in 9 to 5. It's honorable, right? Now, but you want to step out there and do your own thing, and but you got to first plant the seed. So let's just say, for example, your goal is to climb Mount Everest. Like, you do all the practicing, whatever it takes to practice to prepare to climb Mount Everest.
Right.
At some point, you're going to first climb Mount Everest and picture it in your mind what it's like to be climbing Mount Everest prior to you physically climbing Mount Everest. So that's, to me, the thinking it and then watch it come into existence and bring it into existence. And you just said in episode 14, yo, as we get better with the podcast, the technology, the professionalism, the build the team around Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast and the Hustle Lab, and we get better, you said one of the goals is to bring it to y'all live. And
Yeah.
once again, y'all, we're live on YouTube.
That's it.
So
Boom. like that.
Yeah. So I certainly didn't want you to glance over that as you was building,
Yeah,
and let people know that part of being an entrepreneur, part of being um and having the podcast and the venture you and I are on right now was prior to us physically having the podcast, we were thinking about different things, which led to us thinking about the podcast.
that's right.
So if you're on the fence, and you may not just jump into the deep water and just quit your job today and start your own business, first start you picturing yourself being a business owner. What type of business owner are you going to be? So
Yeah,
that answers the what question. When do you plan on opening your business? That answers the when question. Where do you plan on opening your business? That answers the where question. Some may argue this is the most important point of anything is what is your why? Why are you opening business? And what service or what value, let me put it that way, what value is that business going to bring to said consumer, whoever your consumer base is?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, bro. That
You know what?
all
This, yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say to build on that because I like what you just said. I think in a normal scheme of life, it's when who, what, when, where, why, right? And why is like the
Yes,
last one. But I
yes.
feel like in business, why almost has to be the first thing
Okay.
because this is just my personal opinion. I could be wrong on this, but I'm just thinking. To me,
Add on,
I,
bro.
I, I think it has to be why, right? Because because for you to get to where, who, what, when, you know what I mean? I think in
Right.
business, it's like why you're doing it. Because if you don't have a strong why, then it's to me, those other things is going to be kind of like haphazard. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But if you got
yeah,
that strong why, right? That strong
yeah.
why, then the when, the where, when you're going to do it and all that to me becomes a lot clearer into focus because you have a
Yes.
reason why you're doing it. So like
Mhm.
really, it's almost like yeah, with the other stuff, yeah, why could be last, but when you're in business, that almost has to be uh upfront and upfront and
Yeah,
center
yeah.
because that's the whole reason that you're getting into business is
Right,
that
right,
why.
right.
That's
Is
like
the
almost the
answer
whole
that why?
right is that whole reason. So that right
Yes,
there,
yes,
once you
yes.
have that, it kind of almost everything else kind of falls into place and kind of
Yeah,
motivates you to all right, you know what, this is why I'm doing it. So when am I going to do it? Okay, I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna make this date right here. You know what I mean? But it's all centered because of that why. I think.
yeah. And I agree with you because when you saying what you just said, it just made me think of the reverse engineering. So, like, even in if it is last, the last shall be first and the first shall be last. So you might have to just start with the last, make that first,
Yeah,
and then work backwards from there. You know what
that's
I'm
right.
saying? So it's like how the book is going to end, but you still got to go back and write the beginning of the book, right?
That's
Page
right.
number one.
That's right.
Although you may already know how the book is going to end because you're the
Right.
author.
Right. Or at least
So
you see
that's
that, right? You already know what's right in your mind. You know what that last chapter want. You know what it
what,
wants to read.
hey,
You know
even
what it
if the
wants to
reader
do.
doesn't know,
That's
but
right.
you're the
That's right.
author, you know what the end
That's
of the
right.
book is going to end like,
That's
even
right.
if you never even wrote page number one. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? So that's why I said that was so important that you said it and that you said it like that, because those are the moments where you form logic and it allows me to now understand what you're saying, but interpret it my way. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Where I'm like, you know what? I'm locked, key, and stuck with what you just said.
Yeah.
Yo, I agree with that. I
Yeah.
may have not thought about it
Right.
and may have not said it like that, but bro, I completely agree with you like that.
Yeah.
And there's so many examples you can use to back up that theory that you're saying. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So yeah, I think that was an important point. And those that are watching us now on YouTube and for our members of the Entrepreneur Chamber, I hope y'all got that jewel. But guess what? If you missed it, this is going to be re-aired
That's
next
right.
Wednesday.
Right.
And guess what? So what you just said, that's going to be in
Right. So if
it.
anybody's listening right now, you
That's
the
going to
live
make the
audience.
final
You're the
cut.
live audience, people. We're gonna re-air it. We're gonna re-air it next week. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
That's going to make the final cut.
You
I
know what I
think
mean?
that was an
So
excellent point you just made, bro. No
no
cap.
doubt. No
No cap.
doubt. No doubt. No doubt. And I
Mhm.
think so like, so a little bit so maybe like so like what you think of like the journey of where we've gotten so far and what you think of like where you wanted to go.
Um, I I think what I liked about it so far was I look at it more like a network that we're building. So like the members of the Entrepreneur Chamber, the Facebook group, the core group that take the time out to check in on the page every day, and watch the podcast every Wednesday and like and share and comment. And then it will have to be the guest. You know what I mean? And from Tamira, Ambrose, from Andrew Smith, from Kwasim Johnson, from CIYs, from DJ Cam to Phyllis Johnson. Although that one, the audio was really kind of messed up. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah. That was a
I
dope
think
interview
it's
too.
I, I think it's the guests, man, and how receptive they are and all were to the questions that we asked,
Yeah.
and how genuine they all were. Like, so for example, I think of the Qasim, he inserted a lot of in him quantifying, in his own words, quantifying his answers, um ex, started giving like personal testimonies
Yeah.
that was, yeah, answering the question, but he kind of gave us a real life example to go
Yeah.
along with that.
100%.
So yeah, man, and just so I like that part of it, bro. I really enjoy that part of it. um I enjoy the venture of being on this with who I consider my mentor, one of my mentors in business, with you. So I appreciate that. The growth personally for myself, stepping out of my box and out of my comfort zone, because this is truly out of my comfort zone, bro.
Yo.
Yeah, because
Yo,
listen,
yeah.
man, a shameless plug. I got another YouTube channel, JMD Janitorial, and it's a lot of videos, but I don't do no talking, and it's just music playing. So me talking and having a podcast and doing that, that to me, I'm measuring as my personal growth.
Yo, I definitely want to expound on that a little bit. So this brother I just first of all, his brother Winston over here, man. First of all, those that know him, right? They know this brother is first of all a dope brother, always like a forward thinker. You know what I mean? Always a good dude. Like anybody who knows him gonna say this brother's a good dude. But yeah, like if you know him, yeah, he's what I mean, it's all good. He's like chopping it up with you, but definitely he ain't, what I mean? Like if he's the type of person, he's like an inspector deck. Like he gotta know you first before he just get all comfortable with you and all that. So he is more reserved. He is definitely a lot more reserved than I am. I'm more like a, like a live wire energy type dude that I'll kick it with anybody. It don't really matter. You know what I mean? Now, I don't get me wrong. I'm gonna inspect you too, but like, you know what I mean? But I just kind of just keep it pushing or whatever. Like I'm kind of, I kind of like put blinders on to all that other stuff. I'm kind of like in my own world. You know what I mean? I'm guilty of
Right,
that. You know
right,
what I mean?
right,
Kind of in my
right,
own world
right,
a lot.
right, right.
But this brother is that. This brother is that. So just
Mhm.
me seeing, you know what I mean? Because trust me, he ain't a braggadocious type brother. He ain't the
Well,
type
well,
of
well,
brother.
well. So I'm gonna put it to you like this, bro. And this is going into my roots and answering the questions for those that may wonder, what is I just? Who is I just? And you hear the Winston McIntosh or see the Winston McIntosh tied to the business, and then there's the I just, and that's my 5% upbringing, and me being upbringing and studying those lessons and growing even within those lessons and developing that understanding. And in those lessons and my upbringing as a 5%er, we have what are known as different type of seeds. So you will have like a knowledge seed, one that tends to do the knowledge, listen, learn, observe, and respect. Then you have wisdom seeds, those are people that are just swift. We got swords on their tongues. Like they just swift with the swords. And then you got understanding seeds. Like some people just have the ability to understand. I've always been the knowledge seed. I've always been a more reserved, quiet, some may call shy, whatever you want to use adjective to describe me. And when I, you know, came into that understanding of saying, no, I'm a knowledge seed. And I tend to always look, listen, observe, and respect. And it literally corresponds with me being a Virgo. Like most Virgos I know, bro, are introverted, quiet, reserved.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know
gonna say
too
I wouldn't
many.
call you introverted. I was gonna say what I was gonna say was
No.
that you're a
Introverted may
leader.
be. Listen,
Yeah,
I'm calling myself that. I'm just
yeah,
saying,
right,
not
right.
you. And
Yeah,
again, it depends on how you know me.
that's right. That's
Listen,
right.
bro, our relationship, bro, our history go back goddamn 20 something years.
No doubt. No
So I'm
doubt.
more outspoken with brothers like you, but
Yeah,
for
yeah,
those
no
that
doubt.
don't know me that well, they may be like, yo, super quiet. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like right. That's what I was gonna say.
To
Like
your
most
point,
brothers,
to your point.
to my point, I was gonna say like most brothers that know this brother know that first of all he is a leader. He's 100% a leader, alpha male, leader type cat. But right, he is more of an observer. He just ain't gonna just kick it out there. And really, what I was gonna say was he's not the type of person that likes the spotlight shined on him. You know what I mean? He's not the type of person that likes somebody to make a big deal of him. He's a humble brother. You know what I mean? So this really isn't his wheelhouse, but to see him comfortably handle the interviews, to
All right,
see
bring it all full circle,
you know
son.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying? To
come
see him
on, come
comfortably
on, come
handle the
on.
interviews, to see him
Bring it all
comfortably,
full circle.
speak on these podcasts and stuff like that. Like I've seen his growth in that department, me personally. You know what I mean? So I think it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see, man, and it really just kind of highlights the growth that we've had in this podcast. You know what I mean? Like that one episode he's talking about. We did that one at a location and the sound quality was terrible. You know what I mean? But it was a dope
Right.
interview,
It
right?
was a dope interview.
But you know what I mean? I think but that episode is on the channel, correct?
It is. And what I'll do is, for the sake of this video, once it re-airs next week, I'll even drop the link to that video in the
Right.
description below. For those that are watching this now live on YouTube,
Right.
just circle back every
Yup.
Wednesday. We drop a episode at 6:30 p.m. And that's Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast.
Yeah.
You have the host, Mr. Sosa for the people, and I'm one of the co-hosts. I just so before I turn it over to you, because I want to ask you that same question you asked me,
Right.
and I appreciate all the kind words that you just said about me, my brother. I
No
certainly
doubt.
appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Right. No.
And just to finish off that thought, so you know part of this journey, what I like about it most and where I want to see it go is to finish off the thought of why I like it most, is ending with you being on this venture and you and I having this history that we have in 20 something years and building 20 something years ago. And when I say building, I mean adding on in conversation, and it all leading up to this. So it's like befitting that, with me getting in this space, it's with you. You know
No
what
doubt. No
I'm
doubt. I
saying?
feel the same way.
Yeah. So, and where I would like to see this go is for us to continue to cultivate the Entrepreneur Chamber Facebook group. I believe that that's our, well, not even believe, I know that's our grassroots. That's where, when I look at the analytics for our YouTube channel, and once again, that's Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast on YouTube. But when I look at the analytics for our YouTube channel, Sosa, we clearly see that the majority of our traffic comes from Facebook, and that's the external source that is coming from Facebook. So I know that our members on the Entrepreneur Chamber Facebook, that group, the Entrepreneur Chamber, they're checking for us. So
Yeah.
they're taking out the time every Wednesday at 6:30. Listen, y'all, for those that's watching us live on YouTube, once again, that's every Wednesday at 6:30. but this group is checking us out, man. And I certainly appreciate that. And a part of where I would like to see this go is for us to continue to bring on more guests, for us to continue to have these one-off episodes, and see from episode 16 from 2022 to 2023. Now we up to episode 40, for example. It's
Yeah,
probably going to be more than that, but episode 40,
yeah,
man, and just look back like, wow, I remember our first live was episode 16.
yeah,
And in the one last thing, man, in the manifestation of my lessons, 1 and 6 is 7. So it's knowledge and equality. That's 7. And 7 is God in our lessons. And as my Christian brothers and sisters will say, it ain't nothing but God.
word,
It ain't nothing but God. And whether
word.
you a 5% or whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, I don't care what your beliefs are. It's not about that. When you come on the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast,
That's
this
right.
is a space for those that want to express their views.
That's right.
No extremists, but those that want to express their views. So we have brothers that are Christians, some that were Muslims, some that are 5%ers like myself. So yeah, so that's where I would like to see it go. So before we close off on this live, so I want to put that same question on you. So what do you like about the podcast, where we came from to where you saw it grow, and where would you like to see the podcast go to?
Well, what I love about the podcast is, first of all, is that basically, this brother and I, like he said, our relationship goes back 20, 25 years. So we've always had these conversations. Even back then, we were always having conversations, because one theme that we both have in common, that I think is what really is at the very crust of our relationship and our friendship and our brotherhood, is that we're two brothers that have been consciously trying to improve ourselves, whether that be mentally, whether that be physically, whether that be spiritually. We have always been on that thing. Me and this brother have had gym memberships together and worked out. Me and my brother have built on lessons on
Right.
life, countless. I
Life.
mean,
That's right.
countless hours. You know what I mean? We work together. You know what I mean? So to me, to be able to have these conversations is something, to me. I love it, and what I love about it is now other people can tune in to conversation. We would be having these conversations whether we had this Entrepreneur Chamber podcast or we didn't. We would still be having
Excellent
these
point.
conversations. You know what I mean?
Excellent point.
But I think what's dope is now we can take some of these conversations, and other people that having these same conversations that we're having, but in other locations, not even knowing us. Now we can all kind of tie in and have that same conversation, have that same like mindedness. And so that's what I really truly love about this, because this is something to me that it's fun. Like, it's fun to talk to people. It's fun to meet new people. It's fun to kind of pick their brain and see how they think. All this stuff is stuff that I'm interested in, that I'm gonna do. I would do on my own. I do on my own anyway. But be able to do it on a platform where we can help other people at the same time. I'm not just helping myself, and do it with someone who I have a lot of love and respect for. To me, I think is to me, that's probably what I love most. And secondly, what I love most is just seeing the growth, just seeing like where we come, like where it started from. You know what I mean? Like that one episode that we're talking about, that we said a few times. He asked me, he said, "Well, you think we should just cut this episode?" I was like, "Nah, because you know what? It's raw. It's authentic. Like, we're not trying to be something that we're not. We're not,
Raw
we're
and
not
uncut.
that's right. We're not jumping on Instagram or you know what I mean, and trying to portray this lifestyle that we're not. You know what I mean? We're not trying to give you something fake. What I love, and anybody who knows this brother I just, and anybody who knows me, they can say whatever they want, but one thing they always gonna say is, man, those are some real brothers. That's a real. When they say I just gonna say that's an authentic brother. When they mention my name, they're gonna say, yo, that's an authentic dude right there. You know what I mean? So we take that very, very, in my own life, and I know this brother does. Like we walk and talk who we are. We don't walk and talk who we are.
Certified authentic, man.
That's right. That's right.
Certified authentic out
That's
here.
right. That's right. And we come from an era where, it was no fake. Like you would get ran off the court if you came with some fake stuff. Like keeping it real was the motto back then. That was, I don't know what the thing is now, but I know it's not keeping it real. Keeping it real was something that we like lived by. Anybody who grew up in our era, they know like, keeping it real was a badge of honor. Like if you were real, that was a badge of honor almost. And that's something that I love. And like, and the answer, where I would love to see this go, I would love to see us continue to grow. I would love to see that the entrepreneur group grows. And I would love to even that we have, our own, like our own separate group, like our own, even with we got the entrepreneur, we got the entrepreneur chamber, Facebook group, which is very vital. But then we have some of our members that like are really serious about this, and we build a community where now everybody is building in, everybody's adding on, adding on and building. I would love to see something like that, and I would love for this, to for us to be at a point where we can be at have a studio or have a location that we could share, even bring even more value, and be able to bring our guests, live to us. I would love to see that. And I would also love whoever's listening out here. Listen, we don't want to be the ones doing everything. We don't want to be the stars of the show. So we want some people that want to jump on this journey with us. Like we need some videographers. We need some editors. We need some marketing, some social
Some
media sponsors.
sponsorships.
Right. So I would love to it grow to a point where, what, that I just and I, we're not even the ones, I would love to, if we're not even the ones conducting interviews maybe one day, that we're just kind of just, building this as a true movement. I would love for it to get to that point. You know what I mean? And it will. And it will.
Yeah, man. So for all of those that are watching us now live on YouTube, you are now tuned in to the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. You have the host, Sosa for the people. You have brother Just. And yeah, so as we wrap up this podcast, this is episode number 16. Once again, we're going to drop a handful of links in the description. This live will be edited and it will have a re-air and upload on YouTube. That's going to be Wednesday, and it's going to be at 6:30. So always check in with the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast channel on YouTube, so that way you can get all of the latest episodes. You can browse, you can go through all of the different episodes going
Right.
back to
That's right.
episode number 6. Now we do have in our chamber about 5 episodes that we have created a site, and we'll probably add those 5 episodes in as a bonus. Now
Yeah.
those are going to be bonus episodes. So
Right.
yeah, as we close out the year 2022, this has been a great year for us. I'm just so happy that we've reached so many people. Even if it's one person whose
Yeah.
life we changed, one
Yeah.
person who's now more considering taking that step towards, creating a business for themselves, whether
Yeah.
that's in part-time or full-time or with their spouse, and just getting out of their comfort zone, and getting off of that 9 to 5, or if you would, so just tell the people what you say that number is, a 5 to 10 or 5 with the 50. Can you explain
Oh,
that
okay,
number
okay,
again?
okay,
What is
okay.
that?
All right. So, do you want to get on the because we all go, like, say, so let's just say you go to college, right? So you either going to be on the 15 to 45 or the 45 to 15. So you get out of college, you're either going to work for 45 years and be able to enjoy, the last 15 year retirement, the last 15 years of your life basically, or you can reverse that and you could go hard for get out of school and go hard for 5 to 15 years and enjoy the rest 45 years of your life, and that's your retirement. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
yeah. Yes.
that's what that's about. You know what I
So
mean?
certainly, man. So thank you, man, for that insertion. I
No
greatly
doubt,
appreciate that, man.
no
So
doubt, no doubt.
yeah, man. So for those that are watching us live
Yup,
on YouTube, thank you for checking in. This
yup,
has certainly been a wonderful year.
yeah,
2022. We're
yup.
going to do one more, I think, what is it, two more episodes to end out
Yes.
the
Yeah,
year?
I think we was yes, yeah. We got another we got another guest that's gonna be dope. That's gonna, what I mean, that's going to I'm sure it's gonna, it's gonna bless you guys
Yeah.
with their testimony, with their story, with their thoughts.
Yep. Yep.
And we wanted to do this episode right here to everybody who follows us, because we want to kind of let you know, man, this is where we've been, this is where we're at,
Yep.
right? This is what we've done. This is where we're at, and this is where we want to go. So it's kind of like a reset, kind of letting you know that we're very deliberate and we're very conscious of everybody, not only of this, not only this podcast, but all our members and all our listeners and all our constituents. We're very conscious of that, and so we wanted to do that, kind of like let you know kind of where we're at and kind of where we're going. But we do, like brother I just said, we do have another guest lined up. We do have another episode guest, and then we're gonna do like an end of year wrap up where we're
End of the
actually
year
gonna
wrap up.
gonna we're actually
Yeah.
gonna show we're actually gonna go pick some of our favorite highlights and some of our
Mhm.
favorite episodes and moments in these podcasts, and kind of show it to you all. So therefore, those that have never that might be the first time that they tune in, they can see kind of what we've done, and those of you that have already been there kind of regurgitate or kind of rehash some of the highlights of this past year on this podcast.
Absolutely, man. So, yeah, we're about to wrap up this live. It's certainly been a great one. That's Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast, episode number 16. You
Yes.
have your host, Sosa, for the people. And if you would, Sos, let the people know on YouTube how they can find you on other social media platforms.
Sure. You listen. You could follow me on Instagram. That's Cap0G. That's Cap0G, or Cap OG, whatever. But you can follow me on that. You could, like I said, we have we have a company called Ambrose and Associates. You can follow us on Facebook. You can go right to our page, Ambrose Associates. If you're looking for services, if you're looking to bless your family, protect your family, or if you're looking to really understand finances, that's when I can really sit down with you one on one and really talk about your finances, talk about your family, talk about your financial goals. We can help get you a plan if if you're behind, retirement. Listen, you're gonna probably need. I'm gonna be not gonna hold anybody. You're gonna need probably 1.5 million at least minimum to retire. We can help you get on a plan to get you to that number. We help a lot of people. So yeah, certainly follow us on that. And we're always here. I know brother I just myself. If you need any one of us, reach out to us on that Entrepreneur Chamber Facebook group. You can inbox us. People
Yeah,
have
man.
inbox us.
Join. I
Enjoying.
encourage,
That's right.
yeah,
Enjoying.
all of the viewers on
That's
YouTube.
right.
You
That's
can
right.
always come back and look at any of our podcast
That's right.
episodes. It'll list in the description, the host bio. It'll list the link where you can join our Facebook group. That's Entrepreneur Chamber on Facebook. And yeah, so I'm just going to hit them up before we end off the live. That you can reach me at Winston IJUST on Facebook, and for Sosa and I both, it's going to be Everything Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. So that's on TikTok, that's on Instagram, that's on Facebook. It's Entrepreneur Chamber or Entrepreneur Chamber podcast.
That's it.
So yeah, if you want to go into your closing remarks, Sos.
Man, my closing remarks is I just love and appreciate y'all, man. And you know what? 2022 was great, but let's go big in 23. You know what I mean? Let's go bigger and better in 2023 and everything that we do. You know what I mean? Let's just be, let's be better. Let's be better men. Let's be better women. Let's be better husbands. Let's be better wives. Let's be better brothers. Let's be better sisters. Let's be better followers. You know what I mean? Let's be better business owners. You know what I mean? Let's just be better all the way around the board, man.
Yeah, man. I think that certainly was powerful, brother. And then I'm just going to end it off with, man, with Facebook, Entrepreneur Chamber, the group. Thank y'all. 2022 was a great year. We launched the podcast. I'm certainly looking forward to 2023 and the things in the horizon.
That's right.
But certainly appreciative of the moment, and the moment that
Word.
we're in right now, the
Word.
present.
Word.
And I certainly agree with you, man. Just being a better person, putting out a better product
Yeah.
on YouTube, and looking forward to us going on to Spotify
Yeah.
and iHeartRadio and all the other
All this is coming. All this is
platforms.
coming, everybody.
Yeah, all the other platforms that you can find your podcast. You're certainly going to be able to find the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. So yeah, I'm I just my brother Sosa.
There
You want
you
to hit him
have
with
it.
the slogan? You want to hit him with the
No,
slogan,
I
my
was just about to say, listen, that's it. But whether we live or not, we always going to end it with my fellow brothers, my fellow listeners, our fellow constituents, our fellow entrepreneur chamber members. As always, please help empower us so we can help empower you.
Peace all and be victorious. Peace.